Hi guys, very good evening to all of you. Welcome to the video number 548. My name is Ajay Parmar and today I have started the MIS automation series because many of you requested me that they want to learn the MIS automation thing, right? So I'm going to pick up the fantastic the case studies from the comments, from the emails which you send out to me, and the comments which you post, anything which I find that it's actually a wonderful question. Well, no doubt, I mean every question is a wonderful question asked by you, but I'm going to pick up very important things, right? And then I'm going to share it with you, right? So today in this part number 1, I'm going to start the advanced filter using the VBA, and this is a very good example of a you can say that this is a more of a real case study, right? Because this is directly coming from somebody I think who is working on Excel a lot. So welcome to the channel. My channel name is youtube.com/c/Ajay Kumar Parmar. And if you're new to the channel, then 500 and plus videos on Excel, Excel VBA, Access VBA, and Outlook VBA as well. This is the playlist which I always share with my subscribers because we have so many videos, and it is very important that you should, if you want to learn anything Excel, Excel VBA, Access VBA, or Outlook VBA, you should go in this particular sequence. Okay, now these all the MIS automation series, I'm going to put this under the category called Excel dashboard making, right? Because we're gonna pick up these real examples. So this is more of a, like, you can say that related to the MIS field. So dashboard is something which is a very integral part of this MIS automation. So I'm gonna put all these videos there, part 1, part 2, part 3, and so on, right? So let us talk about today's question. Now, Imran Ali, yesterday he commented, right? I'm flooded with emails. I will definitely answer your emails, but you have to give me some time, right? So Imran Ali has given me this question, and I found it very useful because all of us who are working in Excel a lot, you can definitely take this, the good example, right? So he says that I have some problem in Excel when I find duplicate in single column, district name like Chakwal, spelling mistakes Chukwal, Excel not found duplicate values, and I have a huge data 4000 rows, so I'm waiting for your answer. Okay, though I explained it, but then he said please make a video on this topic. Okay, now what actually he's saying, so the point is, I'm just going to give you a dummy data, right? So guys, we have here name, as you can see. I have got the name, but the problem is the names are not, their spellings are little different. It might be a typo mistake, or it might be anything else. I do not know, right? But as you can see, Ajay Pamar, my name, this is actually written in 2 ways, right? Of course, this is the spelling mistake. Similarly, Chakwal, and this is, we, instead of the A we have the U, and then Amanpreet, in the Amanpreet you have double N, and then if you talk about the this particular name SIVA, Siva, it has double I, and similarly in the Jason we have Y, double Y, in the Ankit we have I and double I. So basically the names are coming, but there are some the spelling mistakes, and it can be anywhere, right? But generally if you read the name, you know what it says. That is the important thing. If I read this, anyone can say that this is Ajay Parmar, right? So now how to sort out this problem, guys? We are going to do this in a very fantastic way. First of all, I'm going to show you what is the how we can do this with the advanced filter. Now before I go further, there are 2 very important things you are supposed to know, because this is the MIS automation series, so I want that you should at least know the basics, though I will try to explain as much as I can, right? But if you know the advanced filter, and if you know a little bit of the VBA, like recording the macros, wonderful, right? Otherwise, what you can do after watching this video, you can go to one of my playlist, Excel format cells and advanced filter, right? You will find there the advanced filter videos, right? Trust me, I have talked about the advanced filter a lot there. So let's go and check that. Now what is the first thing I want to do? Now we are not talking about the filter, guys. First of all, I want to tell you this, right? If you think that I'm talking about this filter, no, we are not. We are talking about this advanced filter. Now what is it actually? Okay, I'll tell you. When you click on this advanced filter, you see that there is a pop-up which comes, Okay, now here we have basically three criteria, three categories, three different boxes. In the first we have the list range, in the second we have the criteria range, and in the third, which is, you can see it is de-highlighted, it is right now not showing, so you can, when you click here, this will be activated. So this actually says where you want to paste the data, and this is the option unique records only, so it will remove the duplicates. Okay, now the point is that in this particular situation, this name and this name, they are actually duplicate, but because of the spelling mistakes, Excel will treat them different. Excel will treat them differently, right? Because for Excel, this Ajay Parmar and this Ajay Parmar are not same, and same for the rest of the the names as well. So what we will do, we will go and use the star operator. You know the star operator, we call this wild character. Okay, this is very useful. This we use in the VBA also a lot. And by the way, if you want to really understand the strength of this star, and there is one more special character, not the special wild character, question mark, you can go and watch my playlist Excel count and sum family and watch the video there. I still remember the name of the title, the title name of the video is using the wild characters in the count and the sum functions. Okay, so but I'll explain you, we're not gonna talk about the question mark but the star. What is a star? So first of all, you understand you need to make a criteria in the advanced filter. Okay, because when you click on the advanced, this list range actually it talks about the where is your data. Now we have this data, so this is done. What is the criteria? So we have to build the criteria, and then where we want to copy it. So we can go to the sheet 2, or maybe we can select this cell, that's okay. The only thing is the criteria range is important. How are we going to write the criteria? Now look at this, what I'm going to do. Now in the advanced filter, what you need to do is you need to first of all write the column name on which you want to put the criteria. Now you know that my header name is name, so you will have to put here name. Write the name here. It is not case sensitive, but spelling mistakes should not be there, guys. I mean, you cannot write like this names, this is not allowed. You have to write here the same name which exists in your main table. So you will write first the name, okay, name, capital, small, whatever, and then here in the next cell you will put the criteria, guys. Now what is the criteria? Now suppose I want to find Ajay Parmar, right? Now if I know my data very well, even if it has, let's say, 1,000 rows, 2,000 rows, 10,000 rows, at least you know that how the data is coming. I mean, for example, if I have here Ajay, it's a single Y, here I have a double Y, maybe somewhere here, maybe let's say I have here double A, like this, maybe, in this way as well. So what we need to do is we need to find out that unique thing which exists in all these names. For example, in this particular case, it is a surname, so you can write here Parmar. Okay, this is what you can do. Now when you write this Parmar, you have to do one thing. You put the star in front of this like this. What do you mean by it? Now guys, star means that anything can come before Parmar, anything can come after Parmar. This acts like a contain. So that means you are saying we are going to pick up those names which contains Parmar, which means before Parmar, after Parmar, anything can come, any character can come. This is how we define it, and it is important because you have to pick up all the names which contains Parmar, right? You cannot say that I want to just pick up the name which is equivalent to Parmar, because in that way you will be able to pick up only this name, because this refers to the equals to Parmar. We don't need the equals to Parmar. What we need name which contains Parmar. Now Parmar, so after Parmar, maybe you can have, let's say here I'm writing here, let's say maybe you have double R here, who knows, it is a spelling mistake, isn't it? So that's why you have to write this, you have to write his star, and you have to write the star here as well, so that we say that after R and before P anything can come. This is the best judgment you can, this is the best combination you can think of, right? So now what you need to do is, let's say I want to go in the sheet 2. Let me just delete that. I want to put the names here or here, wherever, that's all up to you. For example, I select this cell. please go to the data, go to the advanced. Okay, when you click on the advanced filter, this is the filter, the list in the place. Where is your list range? So where is your data? I go and select this entire data like this. Okay, or maybe you can select the data like this as well. That's all up to you, I leave it to you. Okay, but I'm going to select the entire table, let's say. And then what is the criteria? Now you know what is the criteria. Again, you go back to the sheet 1 and you select this criteria like this. This is how we write the criteria. The criteria comes below the header. Which header? Where you want to put the criteria. Now suppose this column has, you know, other columns as well, like for example the city, the country, and father's name, date of birth, you know, so on. We will not go ahead and write all the headers. We are only interested in finding out the duplicate values in the name, so you just go and write the name only. Okay, now what is the next thing? Obviously I want to copy this location in the another location, right? So what I will do, I will just go and click on the copy to another location, right? You see that it takes me back to the sheet, and here what I'm gonna do, I just go and select this, you know, I just go here and then I backspace it. If I want the data in the E3, I select the E3. Okay, or maybe you want the data here, you can select that as well. There is no problem in that. Okay, so I go here and I select this the sheet 2 and the E3 because I want the data here. Now do you need the unique record or do you need all the data? Which means if you have, let's say, 5 times Ajay Parmar coming in your table, Ajay Parmar means there is no spelling mistake. It's Ajay Parmar, proper Ajay Parmar, 5 times coming. Then if you don't click on this, then that will also come. So we do not want to do that. We want to remove the duplicates, but at the same time we want to also go and check, you know, by the name of Parmar, how many people are coming there, which, you know, who has actually, where we have the spelling mistakes, right? So just click on the unique records and click OK. Look at this, guys, wonderful. It has picked up all the names, right? It has picked up all the names. So you can see now here that these are the items, and then you can definitely go ahead and correct them. Now how are you gonna correct them? Well, if you think that this is the correct one, then you just, you know, copy this and double click here and the data will be pasted like this. That's all up to you how you want to do it, or maybe you can use the Control H, not the Control H, but you can put the filter, you know, and you can just, instead of this this name, for example, let me undo it. Suppose let's say you have this data coming here and coming here. For example, there are so many names here, right? So what you can do, you can simply go here and you can put the filter here. Just click on the filter and you know how you want the name. So the correct name you can de-highlight it and then press OK, and these are all the incorrect names. So just quickly go here and right here, you know, this Ajay Parmar, and once you are done, just drag this or double click on the this side, you know, the formula will be the filter will drag all the items, and you can see now we have got all the Ajay Parmar. So these are the basically that minute tricks which you are supposed to know if you are working in the MIS, because MIS what? Management Information System. And when we talk about the MIS, most of the time means I would say more than 90% of the times you are always involved in the Excel. No doubt you can use the SQL Server also, you can use the you know, MS Access database also. There are so many things, right? But Excel is used in every industry. Are you agree with me on this? I hope you are agreeing on this, because Excel is something you simply cannot ignore. And if the Excel comes, you definitely go and do the automation as well, right? Now what I want to tell you is, now suppose this is done, okay, I just go and delete this again. Okay, now I want to show you one thing. Now if just in case if you have here a name called, let's say, just Ajay, okay, for example, because I'm going to cover the loopholes as well. Now guys, in this particular case, when you use the advanced filter, let's go to the advanced filter quickly again. So this is my, where is my data? I go to the sheet 1, I select my entire data, and then I click on the copy to another location as well. Let's say we want to copy the data here, but before we do that, we need to go to the criteria. I put the criteria, I select the criteria, and then I go in the, let's say, you know, this is my sheet. Let's say this is I select any data, for example, this is the sheet. Okay, let me just go and remove first of all this. Maybe let's say this time we need it in the A1. Okay, unique record. Now when you click OK, see what's gonna happen. Now you see that Ajay is not coming. Ajay cannot come, my friend, right? Now this is, you can say, sort of limitation. You know why? Because Ajay does not contain this word at all. So you cannot filter that, right? So in that way, you have to give your best judgment, guys. I do not know how your data is going to look like because Ajay does not contain Parma, so advanced filter will not be able to pick up. But yes, one thing I can do, if I know that my name is scattered like this, obviously first of all you will go through your data quickly and you see how the names are coming. So for example, you want to pick up Ajay Parma. Now in this scenario, what I can do, can I not use this AJ and then star? Or maybe you can use AJA because every name starts with this. So you take your best shot, my friends. Take your best shot. Okay. So now if I have written here AJA, let me quickly delete this. Let's go to the advanced, and then first of all I go and select the data. This is my data, and I go and select the criteria. Again I go here and select this criteria, and then finally copy to another location where I want to copy it. Or this is where I want to copy it. You just go and press OK, and look at this. Look at this. So you have to take the best shot. You have to see what is the best combination I can give. Okay, so this is something very important. Now let's quickly go and record the macro for this, because I don't like this every time you keep on coming here and keep on clicking the advanced. That's not the automation. This is the simple Excel stuff. Right now, let me tell you one thing. If you really think that this is something really incredible and this is something you think that you haven't learned yet, then time to wake up, because in MIS these things are pretty much basic things. You should be quick enough in making these sort of things, right? I'm not here discouraging you. The only thing is I'm telling you that you got to be perfect. Pick up the speed. Okay, watch all those videos on the advanced filter. Well, by the way guys, we have 500 plus videos. I've been uploading these videos from the last 2 years. Why? Simply to make you awesome. Okay, and thanks to the subscriber, he has put up this really interesting question. Okay, so now what we need to do, now you have written all the things here. Now you see I'm going to record a macro first of all. Okay, let's go and click on this. Now that's why I said that you don't have to be a really super strong programmer for this. Even if you know how to record the macro, this will work for you. So let's go to the developer tab. Let's hit on the record macro, and here I'm gonna write this macro 2. Okay, fine, let's give it a name called macro 2, or otherwise maybe you can write here applying filter, for example, and just click OK. Now the macro has started, so we will go and click on the data, and I click on the advanced. I'm going to repeat all the steps. So I go in the sheet 1, I select the entire data, I then the criteria range, I click on the criteria range, I go back to the sheet, I go and select that, then I click on the copy to another location where I want to copy it. Well, this has to be copied, let's say in the A1. Make sure I click on this unique record and I click OK, and finally the same output. Let us go to the developer tab. Let us stop this. Now once you have stopped this, I want to show you how this code is looking. So let's go to this and let me hit on the module 1. Okay, so this is basically the macro. Okay, this macro. So let me just copy this and put it somewhere else, so that because there is another macro, so this is where I will paste this. Okay, now this is the same macro which we have just recorded. So let's quickly go and understand what it says. So this application dot cut mode, this is not required. This is a kind of a junk line it has prepared, right? We don't need it. Basically this is the line. Okay, this is the line, this is the line. See this. Now I'll explain it to you. First of all, it says that in the sheet 1, okay, in the column A to A, you have to put the advanced filter. This is where actually in the sheet 1, in the column A to A, we are putting the advanced filter. So this is how the macro recorded it, right? Now it says that what do you want to do? What action you want to do? It says that we want to copy the data. You remember there was the option there, to copy the data. And then this is the criteria range. Look at this criteria range. This is your criteria range. Sheet 1, range G1 to G2. And you know that if I just shrink this, this is where actually you have written your criteria G1 to G2, right? And then where you want to copy that, that we want to copy this in the range A1, which is this cell. So this is what it is recorded. Now let's go and make this little dynamic. Now the important thing what I'm going to do is, see, copy to range remains as it is because every time you want to copy the data here, right? And this column A to A is the data from where it is, it is applying the advanced filter in the sheet 1. So this column A to A also remains same. There is no change. The only change which I'm going to do is I'm going to change this G2 for you. Let us get the pop-up and let us put the criteria there instead of writing the criteria there here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, see this now. You know the input boxes in VBA. If you do not know, no problem, you just go and write here some variable called, let's say, myval, okay, as string. Then what you do, you just say this variable equals to input box. Now what is the input box in VBA? This actually the box, the pop-up will come in front of you and it will ask you what you want to enter, and there you will enter the name. So we're gonna write here enter name, for example, put it in the double quotes and close this. Okay, now once, let me show you, look at this. I run this F8. This is what I'm talking about. Now here if I just go and write Ajay and I click OK, this value comes in the variable called myval, and now you have to put the star in front of Ajay and after it. Okay, so what we will do, let me reset the code. I will say that the new value in the myval now has to be equals to star, put it within the double quotes and get it joined with the myval, the same value which you have got it from the input box, and again put it the star. This is how we write it. Okay, now if you are wondering that why I'm not just go and I'm writing star myval star, no guys, these are these special characters, wild characters, so they are supposed to be concatenated with your variable, otherwise it will not give you the results. Okay, now once you are done with that, now look at this, what I'm gonna do, this value, this criteria range which is coming from G1 to G2. Okay, so we are going to make this G2 dynamic. So here what you will do, you write the sheet name. What is the sheet name? The sheet 1. In the sheet 1 we are going to target which cell? I'm going to target G2. So you go and write here G2 value equals to what? Equals to myval. So what will happen every time, so you don't have to write this, by the way, you just delete it. Okay, because VBA will put the code. So let's go and see that. So I'm just going to run this code. Let me just go and reduce this, maybe like this. Okay, so let's go and run this. So see this, I run this, the pop-up comes, let's say I say AJ and I click OK. When you click OK, you see that this is AJ, but after you run this line, your new value will be star AJ star. Now this value you're going to print where? You're going to print this value in the G2 of your sheet 1. So when I run this, you see that it's coming automatically, and now the advanced filter will take its, advanced filter will work and it will give you the values according to which criteria, guys? According to the criteria which is G1 to G2, and now in the G1 to G2 we have this new value. So when I run this, this is how the code is going to work. Okay, now we don't see any value here. If I just show you in this the sheet 1, look at this. So we got some problem here because when I ran the macro, I was supposed to be on the sheet 2, right? So let me just bring that data back. Now this is a macro, and in the macro you cannot undo it, right? Because macro actually we ran the macro on the wrong sheet, so I have to write the data again. Just give me okay, finally I have written the data again. I'm sorry, we ran the macro on the sheet 1. Ideally we are supposed to run the macro here. So now let's run the macro here, and let's quickly go to the insert and let us create the button. Okay, so I just go and create the button over here, because you have to run this from the sheet 2, and maybe you can write anything here. Yeah, run the filter, okay, or maybe search macro, right? So now what we will do is the moment now we're going to run this. Let me quickly run this and let's see if it is working or not. So right click here, go to the assign macro. This is how we assign the macro, right? This is my macro number, applying filter, and now we will go and click on this. So let me click on this. Now this is what I get. All right, so I'm just going to write here AJ. I click OK, and look at this, guys. Wonderful. This time the data is coming, right? Now the next time when you run this, make sure this sheet should be clear, this column should be clear. Okay, so what we can do is we can quickly go here in this macro, this one. Let me just magnify this. So here we can see that before we go and do anything, we can say that the column columns A to A, you can select the column. You can also record the macro if you do not know the syntax. That's perfectly fine, right? So you can do that, and then we can say that selection dot clear content. This is how I think the line should come. So every time what happens, first of all, this data will get clear. Okay, so let's go and check that again. So I'm just going to click here. You can see that the data is gone. Very nice. And now let's say I write maybe let's say I write PAR. Let me click OK. Now you see that you have only Ajay Parmar and this AJAYY, right? Ajay is not coming. However, it is available. I hope you got the point, right? Now let's say we want to find this Chakwal. Now I can go and copy this data. You know that we have selected the entire column, so you keep on adding. I mean, let's imagine we have this much of data, and here let's say this this Chakwal. So I write here one more name, for example. I just copy this and I go here, and one more name I'm gonna write here, and this time what I do is, let's say you write here Amit, Chakwal, for example, right? So now what I will do, when I'm going through my data, I know that WL is something we can pick it up, WAL. So let's go and click here and write here WAL. You see that this is the way, guys, you can pick up all these names, right? So you have to take your best shot, the best judgment. In this way, this is going to help you a lot. If you want to check, let's say Anil, for example, this is your Anil. Maybe you can write AN. So it should give you all the names starting with the AN. So I understand that it may you may be thinking right now that, all right, so this is not giving us the robust solution, 100% solution, because maybe we can have a different names. We never know. For example, as I was talking about this Ajay, right? Maybe you have here AJAY, right? But guys, at least this much you can do. You can put the first two initials. For example, like this is ROMY, this is Rumi, and this is ROMY. Now instead of you going and checking what is the last name, at least you know that the name starts with RO. So why can't we just go and check the the name with the RO? For example, if I just go and put one more name here with the RO word, for example, I just go and put here let's say Roma Chavla. Okay, this is the name I am putting here. Now let's see what's gonna happen. When I click here and when I write here RO and I click OK, you see that you get the Rumi, and at the same time you get the Roma Chavla, which is not a part of this. At least you can delete this. This is what I'm trying to tell you, because you may not get the 100% the robust solution for this, but at least it is taking you to very close. It is taking you so close to this the solution, that it's not really that kind of a manual work you will have to do, because then you just go and see all these numbers like this and you can delete them. There is no doubt on that part, right? So, or maybe when you have the filter list and you see that, oh no, this is not a good choice, we should not write RO because we have some other names as well. No problem, you just find out something else. Maybe you can write OMY, isn't it? So you just go and write here OMY and you click OK. Look at this. Well, I haven't prepared any script, I'm just thinking right now and I'm recording the video, right? So that way you can also think, you can in fact think better than me, right? So this is all about this fantastic advanced filter, and especially how we use the stars, and how we use the input box. That's very important. This is the code in front of you, right? You can go and practice on this, and this is the end of the first series in the MIS automation. I'm gonna pick up more examples. I've got a lot of emails from you, so I will be definitely adding them in the series 2, part 2, part 3, part 4. So bye bye.